everybody. My name is Carrie. I am so glad you're here today. It is Hope Month. It's Hope Month. Every year at Grace Church, we pick 1 month where everybody, kids, students, adults, everybody, learns the same lessons from the Bible. So we started Hope Month last week, and we asked the question, why should I care for God's creation? And last week we talked about 2 answers. First of all, God cares about creation, and we should too. He made this world and He gave it to us to take care of. And second, when we look at nature, when we look at creation, we can see God. We can learn more and understand more about who He is. Listen to what Psalm 19 says. The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display His craftsmanship. Day after day they continue to speak. Night after night they make Him known. They speak without a sound or word. Their voice is never heard. Yet the message has gone throughout the earth, and their words to all the world. Okay, now that we've reviewed, let's see our question for today. Can you read this with me? What should I do? Good question. What should we do? Well, just hearing that question and thinking about creation and the earth, you probably have some ideas, right? You have talked at school about taking care of the planet. You've maybe celebrated Earth Day. Maybe you've seen some shows or some YouTube videos about recycling, all of that. Great ideas, great ideas. But first, we need to go back and remember that God created people to be like Him and to do His work. So I'm going to read Genesis 1:26. We heard this last time too. This is a reminder. Genesis 1:26 says, God said, "Let us make human beings in our image to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and the small animals that scurry along the ground." So we, you, me, all of us, were literally created to be gardeners and trash picker-uppers and animal carers. This is what the first people did thousands of years ago, and it's a job that God has for us even now. And here's maybe some bad news. See, at first this was really easy because the world was perfect and beautiful, but something happened that made it harder. Have you ever heard of sin? Have you heard that word? Sin is anything that you say or think or do that's the opposite of what God would want you to say or think or do. In Genesis 3, you can read the story about the first people who sinned by disobeying God. Since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. All your life you will struggle to scratch a living from it. Yikes. There's some not fun words in there like cursed and struggle. You see, sin messed up people's relationship with God, but it also messed up our relationship with His creation. Now that's the bad news. Thankfully, that's not the end of the story. There is hope for our relationship with God and His creation. Get it? Hope? Okay, this is what it says in Romans 8. For all creation is waiting eagerly for that future day when God will reveal who His children really are. Against its will, all creation was subject to God's curse. Bad news. But with eager hope, good news, the creation looks forward to the day when it will join God's children in glorious freedom from death and decay. And that's where we come in. You see, God doesn't want us to just hang out, waiting for Him to fix it. No, He doesn't want us to just sit around. He wants us to be part of fixing it. And I know this. This is what we're talking about all month. I know this because of what it says in Ephesians 2, verse 10. This is a great verse, okay? Listen carefully while I read it for you. Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things He planned for us long ago. So this one says we're masterpieces. And Genesis said we're made in God's image. And this verse says that God has good things planned for us to do. Genesis told us what those things are, to manage and care for everything that He made. So when you put this together, it gives us the answer. And our big idea tells us the answer. Read this with me. I can show God I love Him by caring for His creation. Now, lots of people will tell you to pick up trash and recycle, and you've probably, heard you should use less plastic, right? You've heard that. And definitely do those things. Good idea, yes. But the reason we do those things matters too. It's not just a good idea or it's better for the future. No, it's because this creation was made by God. This creation reflects who He is. And when we do the job that He has for us to care for the things He made, it shows Him that we love Him. Now, in your small groups, you're going to dig into what practical ideas you can think of to care for God's creation. I'm sure you'll have a million ideas because you're brilliant kids who are going to be awesome at this. But I hope you don't forget these deeper reasons why it's important that we put these things into action, because it shows our love to God. Okay, that's all for GKTV. I'll see you next time.